It's finally here. The package has arrived. My new lens. That's my address there. I will blur that out in the video, because you never know with all those wackos out there on the internet. I'm actually a bit excited about this. A bit like how you were when you were a kid. Yeah, it came with a bag. That's nice. I don't need a bag, but it is nice. Good packing. And there it is. And it came with a camera, exactly the same one that I got. That looks like a UV filter. The front element looks fine. And I guess that's the important part. (15 to 140 millimeter). That's quite a big range. More than I need, but a lot better than I have. No memory card. That's okay. I should have one. Okay, this is only an 8 GB memory card. A bit small for video, but it'll do for now. I think it's set to automatic digitally zooming. When I press the shutter button, it only focuses on the table. I guess that's some sort of preview focus function. It is kind of annoying. I guess now I will have to do a little testing. But the first thing I need to do is remove this strap, because I kind of hate those. You kind of risk getting caught behind something and dropping the camera. I think you're better off without it than with one. So, that's taken care of. Now let's focus on something interesting. I hooked up the external microphone to the new camera body, and now I'm going to zoom into the Skarrekiker vise and see how well it keeps the focus. Video exposure is set to fully automatic, and power OIS is switched on. It makes a bit of a noise. Hopefully you won't hear it on the recording. Here we go. From the widest angle to the longest zoom. Zoom ring isn't as smooth as I would have hoped, but it is keeping the focus good enough again, but quicker. Okay, now for the second test, let's do the same with the old DSLR lens. Okay, I installed the DSLR lens, and here we go. Zooming in. And of course it doesn't do continuous autofocus, so that has to be done manually. And it is not as long as the new lens, or newish lens. And again, and that is as far as it will go. Oh, and this time I also used fully automatic video. Okay. Second test. So for the second test I'm going to compare the sound between the old DSLR lens and the new lens. Focusing at the front of the shaper, focusing at the back at the door. It's rather slow and makes quite a bit of noise. Now let's listen to the new video lens. Well, I can definitely hear the focus motor, but if it doesn't show up on the recording, I guess it's not a big problem. Front of the shaper and the rear. And again, focusing at the front of the shaper and at the rear at the door. Well, I can definitely hear the focus motor a bit. But if you can't hear it on the recording, I guess it's not a big problem. When you press and hold certain buttons and then press and hold certain buttons again, you can get into this camera info screen where you can see the power cycles, the shutter count and the flash count. And these numbers are actually better than the G6 camera that I already had, except for the flash count. Although when you shoot video you won't use the shutter or the flash. I didn't buy this for the camera body, but it will be a nice addition to the shop or to my YouTube ambitions. It's definitely a lot better than my old G3 camera. That's getting a bit tired, and this button hardly is responding anymore. The camera came with two batteries, one original and an aftermarket one. I have no idea how good they are. This one will probably be crap, like most of the aftermarket batteries, and usually these original ones hold up okay. If it's just as good as the one that I have, I'll be fine. Although I did just order a new battery or an adapter that allows me to hook up an external power supply, and then I will never run out of juice. but it will be another power cord that will be in my way. We'll see how it works out. Another test. I'm currently focusing at the shaper vise using my old DSLR lens, and I'm using the manual video setting with the lens aperture set to f4 and the exposure set to 1/50 as always for 25 frames per second, and the ISO is set to 1250, although it is still a bit underexposed. But I usually try not to go any higher. But this is a rather dark subject, despite using an extra video light. Now let's try that new video lens using a similar focal length. I switched the lenses, and this looks like the same focus length. I kinda like my videos zoomed in because there will be less background clutter. The lens is currently set to f4.9 and that is wide open. Let's bump up the ISO so we can get a similar exposure. This is ISO 2000 and that looks similar, maybe a little bit darker. Now let's close up the lens a bit more, because most lenses don't perform at their best wide open. Let's see, this is f5.6, and now let's bump up the ISO a bit more, and this is ISO 3200, the highest I can go. It is still pretty much underexposed, but yeah, it is a dim lit barn here and not a well lit video studio. Just for fun, let's zoom in a bit more. Okay, that's enough for this test. This is one of those chicks that I found last week, and it will be a guinea pig for my next subject. Basically I will move it forwards and backwards, change the focus distance, and see how good the camera tracks the subject. Looks out of focus. Kinda hard to see because the sun is shining today. Focus! You fuck. Ah, there it is. The closest focused length is 30 centimeters or 1 foot. Alright, I'm going to try the same with the old DSLR lens, and I will bring you back to Mama. Well, I installed the DSLR lens. Oh! We got a jumper! Get back here! Got her, or it. They're getting really quick. Stay while I do my test. Huh. Come on, refocus. It worked earlier, but yeah, this old DSLR lens kinda sucks at this. Alright, you can go back to Mama. Thanks for participating in my test. I can hear motocross at the old German World War II radar site. That might be a fun subject to film, but first I will take a short bike ride on a bumpy dirt road and check the optical image stabilisation. Well, I didn't notice a huge improvement in the image stabilization, but it might have helped a bit. Although I do think that those more modern cameras with both in-body and in-lens image stabilization will do a better job, but those are way beyond my budget. I think the biggest difference was in the weight. This is a lot lighter than that old DSLR lens. Now you might be thinking, what did he pay for this outdated piece of camera equipment? Well, it's not that old. The body is maybe 5-6 years old, and the lens is actually still being sold as new, and it will cost you about €399. I paid €150 for this camera, plus a little shipping, and I think that was a good deal. It's not the latest or the greatest, but I would hate to break an expensive camera in the old barn, and I'm sure that will happen eventually. Besides, the camera gear is not the limiting factor in my YouTube productions. I'm pretty sure I'm the limiting factor. But that's okay. This might make my videos a little bit better. Besides, it's fun to try something new. Alright, enough talking about this camera. I think it's time I start on that boring bar holder remake video that I talked about in the previous video. I need to make another boring bar holder for this small boring bar that takes what's it called, DCMT inserts, and I kinda like those inserts. Let's see how wide this is. Well, you guys get to see some of the raw footage, 8mm, and then I will make a voiceover version, and hopefully it will be better than the one that is the most successful video on my Rolingmetal channel. I don't really like voiceover videos, but most of the successful channels on YouTube seem to use voiceover, and it's what the old Tony uses all the time. Although I'm not a big fan of rehearsed jokes. It's probably the reason why I don't like stand-up comedians. I have to find an angle iron. And now I got to look for a pen or pencil or scribe. Yeah, scribe, I guess. Something like that should be enough. And now I will record a silent version for the voiceover. I actually found a little cutoff. It's a little narrower, but for the purpose of this video I will redo it. I got plenty of stock material. Probably enough to last me a lifetime. Alright, now we go to the hacksaw. I'm actually a bit excited about doing this video. I haven't done a video in the old barn for most of the summer. I did enjoy my summer, but I guess it's time to start making some new material. Alright, I'm at the other end of the barn, trying to make a panning shot. The side of the barn is darker than the other side. Probably because I blanked off that window because sunlight was coming in and annoying me. Zoom in a bit more and try panning again. I can still hear the Moto X racers or motocross. It's maybe 5-6 kilometers away as the crow flies. Let me get the stock material. I hardly ever do a shot from this side of the hacksaw, so I thought I'll spice things up. That's close enough to the scribe line. It really doesn't matter all that much. Maybe a little bit more, because some of it will have to be machined away to get it flat. Alright, I think it's time to start. There's still a lot of coolant in the reservoir, but I better get a little bit of water. Let's replenish the water, because a lot of it will have been evaporated. Hopefully the coolant will start flowing, and I won't have to blow into the nozzle, because that sucks and will taste funny. Alright, for this next shot, the start of the hacksaw, I've decided to set up both cameras. Alright, both cameras are rolling, and I should be ready to press that start button. Maybe lift the arm a little bit. Walking around the tripods and the light stand. Stool is in my way. Alright, now I'm going to switch the machine on while not standing in the shot. Here we go. And walking around the tripods again to lower the arm a bit. Coolant is flowing, that's good. my stool and enjoy the show. Maybe zoom this camera in. I will try and do some handheld shooting with my other camera. It will probably suck because this lens doesn't have stabilisation. But you gotta try something. Going to move this camera a bit closer. Freaking light stand is in my way. And now I'm on my knees. Let's try a panning shot with the camera on the tripod. Shit! The battery is almost empty. I'm sorry, but I will have to quickly replace the battery, and that means taking the camera off the tripod. No quick release plate, so this takes a while. And I'm back, just in time. Could have stopped the machine, but that's not really exciting, is it? A little closer. For the moment, supreme. I will wait for that sitting on my stool. Done! Alright, I will continue filming the shit show on another day. I'm going for a bike right now, a bicycle ride. Alright, that's enough testing with this camera for now. although there will be some extra content after this, for extra credit, as Mr. Pete would say. But all this testing gave me an idea for a making of video. Maybe I should just start over. Would be a long one, but it might be fun and good practice, and that's kinda important too. Alright, bye for now, and enjoy the bonus content. Although you're more than free to go watch another A-bomb movie. I would. I found this old refrigerator drawer and put in some hay so the chicks can still sit warm under mama, because the grass is still a bit wet. After all, it is autumn. But it will be the first time they get to go outside. Now I got to catch them. Well, I managed to catch all 3 of them. There they are. Focus. Alright, go play outside while I catch mama. Little rat kept attacking me. Yes, yes. Did you hear that? One of those chicks that were born a couple of months ago started to crow. That sucks for him, because that means chicken soup. And there he goes again, practicing his crowing. Yeah, Mama, go teach them something. Maybe I could give you something to eat. Here you go. Show them how it's done. I will put these back inside in the afternoon. The day after I found those 3 little chicks, this hen turned up with another little chick. I have no idea where she had her nest. I cannot really put them together outside, so they will have to stay inside a bit longer. Come on, move. Show us your little one. There's yours. I won't disturb them any longer. Yeah, you're not getting out. I'm sorry. Not today. Here we go. That was cool. I think I'll go again. No clocks today. It is Sunday. I bumped against the roof. Alright, time to go home.